Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the cafe, the courtroom, the combination courtroom cafe, where we are, in fact, going to court today. We're going to trial. We're starting the our actual trial segments for this case. Technically, this trial has played out before, but there was a fake us. There was a fake us at the beginning. A fake us meaning like a fake Phoenix, who got Maggie found guilty of something she didn't do. And now it's up to us to own this retrial and get it all sorted out. So I can't help but wonder how accurate testimonies and everything are going to be from, like, a month ago. I guess we'll just have to find out. Because we're gonna find that guy and give him a piece of our mind. I mean, there's a lot of guys around here I want to give a piece of my mind to, but there'll have to be a line, I guess. January 7th, 9:48 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? I did. He's right there. He was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. I can only imagine this is Gumshoe. Maggie! Yep, there he is. Hi, buddy. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! Are you doing all right? How you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let him get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger! No, his name is Dick? Unless you're listing off your favorite American Dad character? In which case, I question your choices. And you! Yes? You better square this case away, got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? You screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Gumshoe threatening me? Gummy, I'm gonna level with you. I didn't think you had it in you. I'm proud of you. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. Oh. I thought he meant he was gonna, like, square up, you know, beat me up. I should have guessed that that would not be the case. I mean, he is a cop after all. But he is a cop, which means he could probably get away with it. Yes, Nova, I get that she's saying that to say she understands. I was trying to make a joke. One that did not land. I think he's serious. Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, right? Yep. So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Of course. I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. Something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You get me? I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh? I seriously doubt it. I'm calling it now. It's not going to. I can only wish. It did. I was trying to be a little shit. Okay. January 7th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Bitter.
Mr. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
Ah!
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You was talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating.
No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix.
I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he?
Maybe. You's talking to me? Our trusty?
So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please.
Mr. Trite, whether you're a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright. Look at my badge. It's got bite marks on it. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another.
As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case. Once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial.
But I wasn't even here for the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said. Trust me. Phoenix, you're not planning on saying you's talking to me?
Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness.
I summon Detective Dick Gumshoe in attack mode and end my turn. Oh, Gummy, why so sad? Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation.
Witness, state your name for the court.
Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. Name's Police Department Detective. Occupation, Dick Gumshoe. Gummy, no! Other way around, Detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir.
Since yesterday?
Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation's tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control. For everyone's sake.
I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case?
Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. He was a professional programmer. He was also a Saiyan, but he doesn't want anybody to know that. The scouter makes it pretty obvious. He said my power level was 4. I think he read it wrong. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens, Inc., a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report.
The court accepts this into evidence.
Glenn's autopsy report. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. Oh, that's basically how we saw it. Because, like, when we were looking at it, we were standing here and looking this way at it. So there were tables behind us. Like we said. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. Yeah, and there's still police tape all over everything. Poison coffee was brought over to him by the waitress.
The waitress being the accused?
Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. John Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo.
It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me.
Arabian floor plans added to the court record. Blueprints of the crime scene. X equals the victim's seat. Come, detective. Take up this hammer. Excuse me? I think I read that in a fanfic once. And nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Oh, I didn't read that part. Maybe I did. This isn't even fanfic. This is just what happened. This is just the game.
No, now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony.
Yes, sir. The incident. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, it looks like Miss Bird might have had, well, some kind of motive.
Gummy! What do you mean?
Using the dark aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady.
You would like that, wouldn't you, Gumshoe? Godot. You know what I like? I got a belated Secret Santa gift from a friend of mine. It's one of those little, like, desk tea warmer things. Like, you plug it in, you turn it on, and you, like, put your mug on it, and it keeps your drink warm. It is, like, currently one of my favorite things. I can't even say warm. This shit's, like, hot. It's steaming. Like, that's how good it is at keeping your shit, like, temperatured. Like, it also comes with a specific mug that has, like, a little top you can put on it, help keep it extra warm. So, I don't have to suffer the slings and arrows of room temperature coffee while I'm doing this. Joke's on you, this isn't even coffee. This is tea. It's David's Tea brand, their chocolate hazelnut. A relative of mine got me their tea advent calendar for Christmas this year. And I decided to do it, well, I couldn't do it leading up to Christmas because I didn't get it until Christmas. So I've decided to do it leading up to my birthday. Yeah, hazelnut chocolate. That's what it is. I've had this one before. She actually got us a full bag of that too. So we've had it before, and it's great. Anyway. Facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but...
Yes?
Please no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood?
I already told you that wasn't me! Okay, so I feel like we're probably just gonna have to do what we did last trial. And probably just press a bunch of things. It's like... we're basically the only thing standing between Maggie and a, complete guilty verdict and acquittal and whatever. How do I have ice cream on the back of my hand? Oh, probably from when I was scooping it. Anyway, so we sort of have to press and keep asking questions. It's like, here, the victim was alone, but we gotta stand up and be like, excuse you, but Maggie said. Or something like that. Point is, I'm just pressing everything for now. Can I stop you for just a minute? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He looks so happy to be called out for once. Like, good for him. Don't worry, Gumshoe. I ship the two of you as much as you do. He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Oh no, Gummy. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And what killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction? Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. Their two testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table.
What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Well, I mean, the bar isn't coming up, and even if it is, we've got a full thing, so I think we're okay. Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way.
Ha! That argument is as weak as the coffee at Traby and trite.
Huh?
I have here in my possession a ticket.
Did you get caught speeding? Did you drink too much coffee and decide to go too fast? A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me.
Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population, the defendant.
Bro.
This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen.
This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place, correct?
I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Trite, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table?
Damn, Gumshoe, you old. Certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Crime photo added to the court record. I get the feeling we'll have to look at that a bit more. Okay, so coffee spilled, tickets. Oh, I feel like there's probably going to be something that's going to come up with this later. Might as well. Glad to take the time to look at it. Listening to the radio. Tell me more. He was listening to his radio, you say? God dang it.
Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket.
Maggie told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Yeah, why not? What was it that the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, that is a good question. Maybe he was listening to something important. Or, like, maybe he was listening to a specific radio show, and whatever he was listening to only airs at a certain time, and maybe that's gonna mess up something with the time of death, or I don't know.
Huh? How should I know?
Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere. God dang it. This isn't going very well, is it? Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used? Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. So traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else.
Not sure I get you, pal.
Was the poison a liquid or was it a powder?
If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance.
So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper.
Ha! Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite? The victim took his coffee black with no sugar.
Seems that the poison could have only been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Why not? Like I said, the bar's not coming up. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee?
Huh? What do you mean?
According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Huh?
Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I was thinking. In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. You have the time to waste. You have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? This.
Damn it! Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns? I feel bad I didn't give him quite the right voice. It would have been more like this, and then yeets the coffee at him. Poor Phoenix.
Oh, now I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup.
Yes, the victim's coffee cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death the waitress brought to him. Like this.
Ugh!
Bro, if you just wanted an excuse to chug your coffee, you could have just done it.
For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants.
Coffee cup added to the court record. Coffee contained potassium cyanide, covered in the victim and Maggie's fingerprints.
On further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance.
What we found was potassium cyanide. Okay. I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is this poison, detective?
It's, well, that stuff's lethal. Eat too much in your history.
How much is too much?
The lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off.
0.2 grams? How much is that?
You know when you swab your ears for earwax? Yeah, about that much.
Americans will use anything but the metric system, I guess. Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. And it looks like Miss Bird might have had, well, some kind of motive. Okay, tell me about that. Some kind of a motive? Or was this about the whole lottery ticket thing?
Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion.
Objection!
You know what my golden rule is, detective? Check out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another.
Huh?
I don't get it.
I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe.
They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket.
I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too.
It disappeared from the scene of the crime.
And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. And you all just won a one-way ticket to Adtown. We'll be right back. How could they have even known that it was a winning lottery ticket anyway? Something ain't adding up.
we're back. So everybody keeps saying about this winning $500,000 lottery ticket. What I want to know is when/how did everybody find out it was a winning lottery ticket? Everybody's all like, oh, it was for $500,000. Oh, it was for $500,000. Motive. I want more of a timeline. That's what I would like, please. The defense requests timestamps. Please. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? Yeah. How? That's my biggest question right now. How? But he stole the wrong one. Yeah, if he knew there was a winning one, how did he grab the wrong one? Like, he knew one was a winning one. So how did he miss it? I don't know. Then is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? I don't see Maggie as the stealing type. Because with the way she describes her luck, if she tried to steal anything, she would get immediately caught. You know, basically how this whole thing has played out. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Why not? Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. Huh. I have here in my hand the very ticket in question.
That's a $500,000 lottery ticket?
One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What?
Order.
Ha! She's quite lucky bird, our little waitress. Have you spent more than 5 seconds with her? That is like the first thing she'll tell you is that she's not. Objection? Nuh-uh.
You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately.
I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. Winning ticket for $500,000 found during a body search of Maggie. Okay, follow-up question? How long are lottery tickets viable for? Like, if it's like a jackpot kind of thing, don't you have to like turn that in immediately? Otherwise they like just reissue it? I don't know how the lottery works. I know how the short story The Lottery works. And I have a mildly entertaining story about something that happened when we did it when I was in high school. Which I will impose upon you now. So, the end of the story, spoilers for a god knows how old short story, ends with all the townspeople stoning a woman to death. And when we did this when I was in school, our stones, air quote, were just pieces of styrofoam that had been like cut into weird shapes and painted gray. But to make sure that they, you know, that it looked real, like we were actually throwing something with weight on it rather than just a shitty piece of styrofoam. They taped like coins to them, like a nickel on each one. So, not to say they were hefty, but like, you know, you throw it, it looks like you're actually throwing something. And if you're not careful, you hit some more sensitive parts, you know, get hit in the eye or something, shit's gonna hurt. So our director for the show, he was very, I'm not gonna say gung-ho, but he reiterated a few times, you know, no matter what you do, don't actually throw it at her. You know, throw it like on the ground near her, throw it behind her, whatever. Don't hit her. Fair enough. Solid advice. You know who the only person was who managed to hit her with one of the rocks during the actual show? It was him. Because he was playing like one of the minor characters just so we had another body to fill the stage. He was the only, our director was the only one who managed to actually hit her with one. I'm pretty sure all of mine went short because I very specifically threw them at the ground. Anyway. Like I said, it wasn't that it actually hurt her or anything. It was just the fact of he was very, very clear, you know, don't actually throw it at her. Don't hit her with it. And the only person who did was him. It was funny. Like, pure accident. He was apologetic. She wasn't actually hurt or anything. We all thought it was just hilarious. It's like, you kept telling us not to do it. But you can? Damn, Mr. G.
This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial, too. But it feels heavier now, somehow. $500,000, you say?
It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately.
That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she's charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did commit this crime.
I like an old man who knows the score.
There is also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive.
Okay, but I'm going to ask again. When did we find out that this ticket was a winning ticket? Like, did he just come in and be all like, I have a fucking lottery ticket that for $500,000. Like, hang on. The implication I'm getting, like, he's got all these papers on the table. For all we know, this might have been mentioned and I'm just not remembering it. These might be other... Well, yeah, it was mentioned that he did have other tickets, losing tickets. So maybe that's what he was listening to. Like, he was listening to whatever radio station was reading off the lottery numbers. And that's when he found out. It's like, oh, yay, yippee, I won. But that really brings in the question of the motive and opportunity, because, like, where the hell would Maggie get her hands on potassium cyanide? And would she really just be like, oh, I'm gonna keep it in my apron and, you know, put it in the coffee of an unsuspecting customer? Oh, this guy's just won $500,000? Nope, mine now. I'm pressing X to doubt. Anyway.
I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules.
I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggie? Girl, it looks like it's a good thing you have an apron. This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like... It can't be blood, can it? He was poisoned! It's not like she stood there over him and he, like, coughed up a bunch of blood. Now, knowing Maggie, it's probably, like, ketchup or something, and it just looks like blood. Ha! Seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. Okay, did you get that tested to see if it has the potassium cyanide in it? The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more.
Something else? I presume you mean...
Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. Are you blind? Does your Cyclops visor make this invisible to you? Pocket? Search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. This all seems very too convenient for me. It's like, oh, we've got a waitress, we've got a motive, we've got an opportunity, we've got the poison. Everything's adding up, but I think it's adding up too well. Like, even for somebody with, like, you know, bad luck as Maggie has. I feel like she's being set up somehow. Like, maybe because of his debt, Jean is in on it somehow. Like, he had to, you know, use his restaurant as like to do some kind of setup or something. I feel like he's part of this somehow. I feel like Maggie's being set up by somebody or multiple somebodies. And everything's just adding up too well. A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket. Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What?
Order, order, order. The court will accept these items into evidence.
Apron added to the court record. Worn by Maggie at the time of the incident. Has a small pocket, but big stains. That's funny. Potassium cyanide, deadly powdery poison, bears Maggie's fingerprints found in her apron pocket.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? He must not be able to see it for some reason. Is his fucking Cyclops visor doing some shit?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. Don't need to be told. Just look at it. Maybe he does have vision problems and that's why he looks like Cyclops. Well, detective, could the stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron while taking someone their breakfast that day.
You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe.
Pull stuff like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. I don't know, depending on the day and how bad his diet is, that might actually be relatively nutritious for him. I thought everyone knew what it was already.
I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence, they've all been clearly established.
Well, Trite. Seems you really are a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts.
Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there.
The investigation. Crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kinda scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. Must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him. We figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene.
You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good.
It's still too convenient. Still pressing X to doubt. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, right? Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So let the fun begin. Investigation. scary old man, Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe?
There's an old man who's a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened.
Ah, we're obviously talking about the same old man.
Officers were dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? And he hurled abuse at them. And seeds.
Seeds.
Huh. It was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. Guess not even the mighty Godot can avoid being attacked by that guy. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone, apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough. How long was the defendant unconscious for?
The officers got to the crime scene around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at that time. Took another 10 minutes or so before she came through. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself.
I bet you would have liked to have carried out the search, too. Phoenix! Damn!
I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that, all pretty and peaceful.
Sir, this is a courtroom. You're a professional detective, Gumshoe, not a professional bird watcher. Save the romantics for your own time, detective. All we need to know about is the investigation.
Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I? Victim didn't have any identification on it.
Okay. He didn't have any. Are you saying that it was stolen, then?
No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet.
58 cents?
Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal.
Poor Gumshoe.
The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man.
Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. We figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. Okay, how'd you find... He didn't have anything on him other than 58 cents. Wait a sec.
Huh? Did I say something dumb again?
Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes?
Yeah, basically.
In that case, how are you able to identify the victim so quickly?
Oh, that.
He's so let down, he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy dog eyes thing going.
There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket.
Seems Mr. Glenn Elk visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations.
We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds.
That's a reliable enough source for the court.
What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more? Ask about his health insurance. No, that's not going to get us anywhere. But asking about the prescription... Well, we're only just hearing about the prescription bag, so maybe we need to find out more. So what sort of medicine was in the bag?
Well, actually, the bag we found was empty.
Huh?
Yeah, completely empty.
It was completely empty. Victim's prescription bag added to the court record. Victim got this from the doctor before going to Tribulations. The bag is empty. I like how it's got the detail you can kind of see his name spelled out on it.
Huh.
You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence. Desperate, are you, right? Shut up. Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective? The defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? That's what I'm saying. It's all too convenient.
Hey, yeah, you nailed it, pal. It happens to me all the time. We had an apartment party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes.
How? How do you go to a party and leave with somebody else's shoes?
Objection.
Keep up this crazy testimony, detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat.
Sorry.
So, right? Someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket. That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence? Well, I'd love to if I had any.
Appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue with your testimony, witness.
And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene.
Didn't you just tell us that the prescription bag was missing? Or, no, not bag was... Jesus Christ. Bag was there, but the medicine's gone. So where is it? Like, if it was found on his person or something, they would probably say that.
Objection.
Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony.
Oh ho, finally. I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will ya?
You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later?
No, they didn't.
The victim was given a prescription right before going to Trey Bien. Where then did the medicine disappear to?
You are too cool, pal.
Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence?
Hey, in this case we can say it wasn't his fault because he wasn't in charge of the investigation until yesterday.
I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh?
Gumshoe, this wasn't even your fault. It was the other guy's fault. The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself.
Order, order. Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that?
Huh. That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological?
Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot?
Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say.
A war wound?
The day before the incident, Mr. Elg found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum?
Then what on earth was the prescription he was given?
It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? Mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear.
Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print.
If it's that fine, I'm surprised you can see it, Judge. Seems Mr. Elg correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trey Bien. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. Ugh.
It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No!
Nick! If you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. He's right. If I can't get away with any old weak objection, what should I do? No, I think that's a very valid question. Like, just because he ingested poison and he died for it, where's the medication now? This seems important. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trabien. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime?
But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal.
Objection!
That doesn't change the fact that that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
Objection!
You know as well as I do that that medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide.
Objection!
Hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. Ugh.
That's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot?
I got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. The old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder.
Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater?
Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. That is something that bothers me.
Yay! Good job, Nick.
Court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness.
Huh. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups.
Court is adjourned for recess.
Yay, I'm gonna go play on the swing set. January 7th, 11:03 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Whew! That was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir! No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me. But he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He's backed into a corner. And we're backed into an ad break. We'll be right back. Poor Gumshoe, always taking the fall for things. I don't think his salary can take it anymore. We're back. Maggie is pissed. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. I think he was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's gotta do his job, right? Okay, I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is gonna be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know? Well, yes. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you gonna be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. January 7th, 11:15 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Cadeau, your next witness, please. Prosecution calls the lucky old timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind.
My name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too.
I don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation.
My occupation? Listen, young'un, how much call do you think there is for kimono embroidery here?
Kimono embroidery?
That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimono. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Ah yes, this delightful country of Japanifornia. Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he can embroider my costume sometime.
Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
I don't think you could do that if you tried. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Yeah, but then he would have thrown birdseed and everything.
Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident?
Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino.
At one of my IRL jobs, I found a set of 3 coffee mugs that had different coffee drinks on the side of them. Like, they were all different colors. Like, one of them, it was a black one, just had coffee on it, and it had, like, all kinds of designs. Coffee cups, a mocha pot, like, some croissants and shit like that. Then there was, like, a brown one. I think it said Americano, and, like, a couple of people, like, clinking their cups together. And the other one was like a paler one, like a tan kind of one. And said latte on it, with like other kinds of cups and shit on it. They all looked very cute. Anyway.
Seeds?
What do you think these are,
Bro, did you just see how jacked up his fucking teeth were? These seeds must be terrible. Or, I mean, they are for the birds, you know, who have beaks and shit.
I see.
So you saw everything that happened, Gramps?
Did I? Oh yes. Yes, I did. I saw it all.
Then please tell the court. We're all ears.
Sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail.
He's really getting into this. Well, this is probably the most attention he's had in... Well, maybe not that long, because Mia was, like, really, you know, letting him pop off. She was like, wow, how interesting. But before that, what I witnessed.
Young man was reading the sports paper. Serving girl brought him a Javachino and she put something in it.
Something doesn't look right about this to me. Maggie's hair is not that long. Like, it cuts off, like, here. Maybe it's just, like, a weird angle or something. That just does not look like her.
Man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
Do you, though?
Mr. Kudo, she's not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress.
Heh, you're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with the old-fashioned ones?
Depending on which old-fashioned ones, they could be, not polite.
Newfangled?
All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell you.
Excuse me?
Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away.
Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm level with you guys. I don't mind pressing Gumshoe, like, to get all of his testimony. I really don't want to do that with this guy. Because it's like...
I'm old man Victor Kudo. I'm gonna...
I don't like him. He's a pervy old man, whether or not he's going to admit it. Anyway, he was reading the sports paper, got him coffee. Looked like he's in terrible pain and then collapsed. Remember her well. I don't think you do. You said, I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Oh, maybe that's something that we're gonna go for. You know, we just got her apron. Maybe he'll point out... Because he likes the uniform. He likes how... Probably likes how certain features look in the uniform. But if he's all talking about, you know, keeping up the good old values and he's probably wants waitresses to maintain like a nice clean appearance or something. So you might bitch about the apron. Or maybe it won't come up and that's where we'll get him. I don't know. I'm getting like 5 steps ahead of myself, I think. It's like, I feel like we've emphasized how much he likes the outfit. And how much he likes how girls look, how women look in the outfit. Not girls, he made that clear. Anyway.
Particular features. It's a disgrace, that's what it is.
Sorry?
You can see all the way up to her, you know, she's practically naked in that uniform.
So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit. And anyone could wear such a uniform, even me. I've seen fan art of that. It's very fun.
Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image.
Rude! Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together. Guess I got a bit carried away.
There are other things I recognize about her, too.
He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? No. Tell me more. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether or not that waitress was Maggie Bird.
Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant. I would ask you to add them to your testimony.
Sure. There's a ribbon in her hair, and her apron straps were loose.
What, were you only looking at her ass? What the fuck, man? Okay. you do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face.
Yeah, as if I wouldn't remember that.
Objection!
The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. I don't know if he's too busy looking at her behind.
That's right. I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red.
So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. No doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. Well, he definitely focused on the details from the back. Let's see if we can get anything else. The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. Oh, yeah.
So what?
Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons.
This is harassment. I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony.
Sure, sure.
This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. If I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet.
Wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front.
Are you sure? Like I said, he keeps talking about, the, good old values, and like I said, he'd probably... Not even the good old values thing, he really likes the uniform. He'd probably complain that it was messy.
Objection!
I don't know. Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this.
Ah, that filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating.
Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Hmm? Well, you half-witted clot. What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here.
Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Or if you did, you were too busy focusing on her fucking butt, because you're a fucking pervert old man. This is why my maid dress is long. Never mind my regular outfit.
Oops.
Get out of here.
Witness, you can't just oops your way out of this.
Ha. Well, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Trite, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant.
That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird?
Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching.
I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing.
Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps.
You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion where I forgot what burger a customer wanted.
He can't remember. More like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim.
He was another of those pesky young types, wearing a pair of broken spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. Little Fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip.
The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail.
Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what tapes who are so vague about everything.
How are we gonna handle this, Nick? I might have an idea. I just need to look at this. Look at this thing. Well, for one thing, I don't see a newspaper. All I see are, like, the lottery tickets. And the way I'm looking at it, it looks like he was holding the coffee in his right hand. Where's the coffee cup? Yeah, the coffee stain being here would indicate that he was holding the coffee with his right hand, but he just testified that he was holding it in his left. He was holding the newspaper. And then that he took up the coffee cup with his free hand, which would have been his left. Okay, well. We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Again, I don't want to deal with this guy any more than we already have to. So I think that's what it is. We just have to... That's not the coffee cup. That's the coffee cup.
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory?
I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you. Nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left.
Ha! What is this, kindergarten?
But I would like the court to please take a look at this.
That's the cup the victim used, correct?
Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips.
Yes, there's a stain left by the coffee.
If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand.
But how?
Well, Mr. Kudo, court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Ah!
Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from.
Wait! You think I'm gonna stand here and listen to you to tell me I'm mad? You're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw.
You still insist on your testimony?
It insists upon itself.
That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. That dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault.
Who, me?
Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already.
Don't call me old man, old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but...
Sure, why not hear a little more?
Mr. Godot!
But this is my 16th cup of coffee. But this is your final stand.
Thank you, Cap. You can rely on Victor.
Yeah, no, look at his feet. Look at his fucking teeth. They're jacked the hell up. Maybe you shouldn't be eating those. Those are for birds. And they're probably not like sunflower seeds that they use in like softball. Maybe you should see a dentist.
Boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. Then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye.
It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. No, it's his Saiyan Scouter.
A monitor? You mean like a television screen?
The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work.
HD, TV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw and I'm telling the truth.
True, he doesn't seem to be lying.
Those are the facts in good old black and white.
Let me check. Same side as the green lens on his spec. So that was on his left. I was looking at that. But they were very clear that he did it, had it. Left eardrum was ruptured. Yeah, so he couldn't have done that.
Objection!
Excuse me? I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there's something very strange about your observations of the victim.
What?
You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD.
No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting.
Yeah, because you were sitting at the table across from him. You know what's pissing me off also? The shape of the victim's face, it just kind of looks familiar and I can't quite place it. It's making me mad. I mean, obviously we've been looking at it, but it looks like somebody other than, you know, the guy. I don't think so.
What did you say?
You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo. The victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right, it's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear. Because he couldn't even hear in that ear.
Is that true, Captain?
It is.
Pigeon. Pretty pigeon.
Well, he kept true to his word. He sang us the pigeon song.
Order, order, order!
Witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind, and he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot? Single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk.
Captain, are you calling me a drip?
This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand.
Thank you. That's what I said like 10 minutes ago.
I'll never back down. I know I'm right. Lad drank his Javachino with his left hand.
Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. Took a sip of the cup held in his right hand and then switched to his left. No! Like, he took a sip and then he died. That's all there is to it, because you yourself were saying, oh, how potent the fucking poison was. That's what the old man... That's what the old man saw.
Objection!
Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip.
Objection!
Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. Facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. Elg drank the poisoned coffee. Like this. Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless.
I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court, but to be frank, his testimony is a farce.
Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, you can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned.
Wait! We stop now, where does that leave me?
As an unreliable, perverted old fuck.
Leave you, Mr. Kudo?
Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now.
Yes. How is your bad memory my fault?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do.
I've kept my mouth shut up until now. There's something else this court should know.
What?
There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark.
Me? Looking at me like I'm sort of evil. He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun.
Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? Final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook.
Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee.
What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javachino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man.
That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony.
You bet. Much, much quicker.
Can't believe this is happening.
Ha ha ha, you better get ready, youngster.
I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. Yeah, up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. The final showdown.
First of all, I want to stress this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of it myself. Young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, hmm?
No. No, you didn't. Oh my god.
Is that all?
Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. You're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man?
No, we are not doubting you, Mr. Kudo.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy.
You're a bird brain. That's why that's all you can think of.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination, please.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Objection!
Go home, old man. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
So what?
Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact.
Huh?
Lost your tongue, Granddad?
I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch. Ow! Ow!
Enough. If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night.
Ah! Now what?
What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes? Go on?
A broken vase. It was on my table.
Can we get this guy out of here? What?
Ah, well, you see. It startled me when that young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean.
The vase on your table.
Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked.
I'm out of here. I didn't want to hear nothing about no old man fucking groin today, and this is what happens. This is what happens. Like, sir, are you sure you didn't fucking piss yourself and that's what you're using as your cover? Bro. I'm getting as far away from you as I can. No, thank you. There. Get out of my courtroom. Get out of my courtroom. I don't want nothing to do with you. Godot, help. I don't care if you gotta, like, unlock your superpowers with an 18th cup of coffee. Help. Get him out of here.
Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today.
I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all?
Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo.
Ah, wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh yes, I remember something else.
Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom.
Wait, listen to me!
Hello. I think you're showing up right at the end of the stream, but hello, we are glad to have you here at the cafe.
Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked. And I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are 2 disparities in the testimony we have heard thus far.
Mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand, and the earpiece, which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he could not hear. Wow, Nick, you did it!
I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's one more thing before I call today's session to an end.
One more thing, Your Honor.
The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use. So he summarized it accordingly into this statement.
Okay.
You may each have a copy of it if you wish.
Whatever, the prosecution doesn't need props like that. But I was really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too.
Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's.
Yes, Your Honor. Victor's testimony added to the court record. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies?
That is all. This court is adjourned.
To be continued. That was certainly the trial ever. I think I need to go lay down after that. Like, I need to go sit down. I'm already sitting down. I need to sit down more. Because what the fuck was that? Get out of here, ads. We're done here. We are done for the evening. That... Wow. I have no words. I have... Actually, I have a solid 3 words. What the fuck? It's like that one video of the bird just going, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's just what's happening right now. That's all that's happening. Like, there's nothing else to do. Nothing else to say. None of it. Just, what the fuck? I got nothing. On that note, thank you all for showing up, for being here, for coming. Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, no, I got nothing. Chat, I got nothing. Look at all this nothing I have. Like, I've been so stunned into silence. Yes. No, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like just running away. Like, I need to run and go sit down. I need to go run and not be here. Like, that is where we're at. Man, there's always so many cool people who are doing stuff and streaming. Now, you know what? Fuck it, we ball. Let's not accidentally click on an incorrect thing on my OBS and just mess it all up. We're gonna go say hi to Aki, aka Orange is Borange, aka Aki. She is doing a playthrough of Yakuza 0, but she is also modded into it. So instead of the Dragon of Dojima, we've got the Dog of Dojima. It's her model. Because that's like her thing. Where she's like modded into games. It's part of her lore. Is that she can traverse and be in games. And I, for one, think it's very silly, very entertaining, and honestly just very impressive. Like, the amount of effort and technological skill and whatever that goes beyond anything I could ever dream of to have this happen. Anyway, so let's go check that out. Like I said, this is her first time playing it. Looks like she's about 3 hours in, so if you want to play Yakuza 0 for yourself and don't want to be spoiled, don't join us on this raid. But that's entirely up to you. I can't tell you what to do. We'll be back on Monday. We will continue with more trials and tribulations. Until then, eat plenty of food, drink some water, get some rest, take your meds, and just take care.